Canada's Federation and saw that it said 1868? Or what did you say, 18?
It was like 1879 or something.
Okay, so when you saw that year was changed, you would be able to go in and see who changed that, when they changed it, and potentially whenever else there were changes and adjustments made. All modifications to an article are archived in its history page. Disputes between editors about the article's content are documented in its talk page. So I didn't even know about that, but I guess if it's a contested web page, people are very opinionated on what's going on. There's a discussion that goes on as well, maybe behind the scenes, that informs the article as well. To use Wikipedia effectively, school students need to be taught to find and analyze these pages of an article so they can quickly assess the article's reliability. So is information on Wikipedia too shallow? I don't know what is going on here. Go away. Many teachers also argue the information on Wikipedia is too basic, particularly for tertiary students. This argument supposes all fact-checking must involve deep engagement, but this is not the best practice for conducting initial investigation into a subject. Yes? Go ahead. Okay, one of you boys is moving again because you're talking nonstop. I'll let you vote on who's moving. Okay, let's go. You can move back there. Right back there. Move her binder. So once again, this section of the article is just repeating what I mentioned before. If you're just trying to learn about a subject, trying to gain some broad information, Wikipedia is an excellent source because you don't want to go jump right into the deep end where things are very convoluted and difficult to understand. It's better to go where it's very easy, see some reference points, and then follow that guideline. Once you've done that, deep research needs to come later once the validity of the source has been established. So that's where you can go in and look at the source, where things were referenced from, and then go and read those articles as well. You know, like assuming, I don't know if you necessarily need to do that much research at high school level, but definitely for university. Still, some teachers are horrified by the idea students need to be taught to assess information quickly and superficially. If you look up the general capabilities in the Australian curriculum, you will find critical and creative thinking encourages deep, broad reflection. Educators who conflate critical and media literacy may be inclined to believe analysis of online material must be slow and thorough. Yet the reality is we live in an attention economy where everyone and everything on the internet is vying for our attention. This is something we've already discussed in this class. Our time is precious, so engaging deeply with spurious online content and potentially falling down misinformation rabbit holes wastes the most valuable commodity, our attention. Okay, so the argument they're trying to raise here is that, let's say you say, oh, Wikipedia is a terrible resource. So you go online, you try to read a book about something or whatever, some online material, and maybe that's a bit of misinformation or disinformation. It's gonna set your narrative to whatever you kind of initially base it off of. So it is important that rather than getting very specific information, you get some broad information to generally understand the field that you are about to engage in. Wikipedia can be a tool for better media literacy. Research suggests Australian children are not getting sufficient instruction in spotting fake news. Only 1 in 5 young Australians in 2020 reported having a lesson during the past year that helped them decide whether news stories could be trusted. Our students clearly need more media literacy education, and Wikipedia can be a good media literacy instrument. One way is to use it with lateral reading. This means that when faced with an unfamiliar online claim, students should leave the web page they're on and open a new browser tab. They can then investigate what trusted sources say about the claim. Okay, this is another very valid point. As you browse through a Wikipedia article, and you're reading things and you're not 100% sure, just like every other bit of information we've discussed over the last few classes, it is useful to go over 2 or 3 different sources for that information, right? So if you read a number, a date, you can search that same event. So you can go online, say Canada Confederation timeline, and maybe 2 or 3 other websites, or you go to Canadian Encyclopedia, they give you different information. Right, now you're looking to verify it, and again, it's building that skill of media literacy. Do you just read something once and accept that that's true and then solidify it in your mind, or do you constantly keep an open mind about the information you're interacting with and then verifying it later? Yes. Excuse me. Just walk around the back of the camera. Okay. Wikipedia is a perfect classroom resource for this purpose, even for primary age students. When first encountering unfamiliar information, students can be encouraged to go to the relevant Wikipedia page to check reliability. If the unknown information isn't verifiable, they can discard it and move on. More experienced fact checkers can also beeline to the authoritative references at the bottom of each Wikipedia article. This is what I was referencing earlier. In the future, we hope first-year university students enter our classrooms already understanding the value of Wikipedia. This will mean a widespread cultural shift has taken place in Australian primary and secondary schools. In a time of climate change and pandemics, everyone needs to be able to separate fact from fiction. Wikipedia can be part of the remedy. Okay, so again, this article is just emphasizing that if you are handing in like an essay, a research paper, for those of you who go to university, the point isn't that you just use Wikipedia. The point is that you use Wikipedia as a starting point, as a reference point, to provide you potentially a pathway for which information to interact with, what a general consensus or vibe might be on a particular topic, and then from there to go and do deeper research and understanding. Right? Additionally, many of you talked about how, oh, well, it's not always experts who can comment. But the thing about that comment is that you're not an expert on these subjects either, right? So what gives you the right to then differentiate expert opinions if you don't even have a broad, basic understanding of a particular topic? Okay, I think we'll just wrap up with that.